Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another Autocross car build, and my vehicle today is a slightly different one. It's going to be our first four-wheel drive car for this series, the Ford Escort Cosworth. Now, if we don't get too much understeer, and that is always a fear with a four-wheel drive car, certainly four-wheel drive could be very, very quick, because you can put the power down very easily out of the corners and really fire the car in between the gates. But that is relying on us not having too much understeer. This could be a very quick car. It could be quite difficult to drive. Who knows? And we won't know until we have built it. So we're building it up to A-Class. The first thing I'm going to be doing is sticking it on some race tyres and giving it as large a tyre width as possible. 275s, not too bad, and certainly for a four-wheel drive car, we shouldn't be having, for a sort of a fully handling-built four-wheel drive car, we shouldn't be having too many issues for A-Class here. And what engines can we get in this car, I wonder? Oh, the decisions. I am very tempted by the Turbo Rally engine. The Turbo Rally engine is an awkward engine to work with. It's an awkward engine to build cars with because you can only take off the restrictors, so getting the PI right and balance it can be very tough. However, they can be incredibly fast. They get a lot of torque. They're difficult to drive as well, but you can get a lot of torque out of them. Although, in all honesty, I think for Autocross, I don't want to be concentrating on gears and so on. I think we might actually be better off not going for the Turbo Rally engine, just for ease of me not making too many silly errors. Oh, please tell me, do we still get the rally parts, even being on... we can kind of get rally parts on the... I'm not going to put rally... As much as I would love to put spotlights and so on the car, for Autocross, we're going to want all of the handling bits that we can get. If we're going to... Yeah, we are going to install. Thank you. Oh, we can get all the full-on rally parts that you got on Horizon. That is quite cool. I am quite glad. Jeez, that dropped the PI massive amounts putting that wing on there. No, I'm okay with that. Are any of these here? What? It's slightly changing the shade of blue. Oh no, wait, we had a tow hook. Okay, never mind. I figured out what it does. On there, oh, we can have some mud flaps and bonnet. Can we get full on? Oh, we can get full on snorkel and everything. On here, all of the. Okay, right, we can get lighter bonnets. So sure, we'll go stick that on there as well. Yeah, I'm quite impressed that we can actually have the full on rally parts. That's quite cool for the car. Right, other parts. I've got distracted. Brakes, suspension, of course, we're going to want as much handling bits as we can possibly get on this vehicle to navigate an autocross course, because let's face it, that is what it is all about. There we go, we are going to install. The Escort's actually going to come out quite nice and light, I think. It's 2,900 pounds of the roll cage, but stick this on. Yeah, I mean, this mount the same weight as the NSX. There or thereabouts. So yeah, we might actually get some decent-ish power in this car. I am going to stick the race gearbox in for now, and now it's power bits. What power can we get out of this car while still keeping it in A-Class? That is the question. We're going to want to upgrade the turbo. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to get about as much power in this as we got out of the NSX. This is slightly lighter, and the four-wheel drive traction, if we don't have the understeer, could come in very, very handy. This could be pretty quick. As I said, this could be a pretty damn quick car, actually, looking at it. Right, let's get on that there. That'll do. Yeah, we're at 335 horsepower and 358 horsepower, 359 torque. Pretty good figures on this car for what we're going to get it to be doing. We can go for drive. Yeah, I think we'll probably go for that drive line. Seems like a sensible option. I will just see if we can sneak a clutch on. No, we can't. Not a hope in hell. And we'll set the diff on just for good measure. Well, there we go. The Escort. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this car. I definitely think we've got plenty of potential. That acceleration in between the gates could be very, very useful for the Escort as long as you don't have a mile of understeer. Right, I am here at Hockenheim, where I am going to get 3 attempts to get through the autocross course as fast as possible. Our current leader, the Alfa Romeo 4C, has a time of 2 minutes 6.9. This is a very, very fast time. I'm not sure the Escort is going to be able to beat it, but I definitely reckon the Escort should probably be getting under the 210s. In all honesty, that's what I'm thinking going into this. I think we can probably get under the 210s unless there is some chronic handling issues with this car. So we've got decent power, not too much weight, and yeah, we're going to have a lot of traction and a lot of acceleration, in theory. Okay, maybe not quite as much off the line as I was as I was expecting. I thought we were going to be good to go there. Never mind. Maybe we have quite a long first gear in this. Handling-wise is lovely, which is always nice to see. Having a car handle really well on these runs. Yeah, we do not have that much understeer whatsoever from this car, and of course, being four-wheel drive, I mean, we could probably slide it. Ooh, okay, I've turned actually so much grip. I turned in a little bit too soon on that one there, which is yeah, unusual. And again, we've actually got an awful lot of grip available in this car. Right, let's get it slowed down for that. It turns so much sharper than I'm expecting. I've been driving a Renault 5 Turbo, a four-wheel drive Renault 5 Turbo, and that doesn't quite handle as nicely as this one here. This handles really well. That gets turned so nicely. Yeah, we don't have... Okay, if you really go for it on the way out of a corner, you can get it to be understeering. But you do have to be being an absolute moron with the throttle, really being aggressive with the car to get it sliding. First gear is a tad long, perhaps. I don't know. I don't think it's not too bad. We got miles of grip, through that section. All right, on the brakes through there. We don't have the brakes of the Alpha. That is one thing we do not have. It was worth a try at least, since this run is pretty buggered anyway. Yeah, okay. We don't quite have the same stopping power. I mean, we are 400 pounds heavier than the Alpha. We're about 1,000 pounds heavier than the BAC Mono. Yeah, this is a pretty light car, but when you're comparing it against vehicles like that, it's yeah, it's never going to quite have the same braking power that they do. But it does. It changes direction so well. Okay, okay, that was just sloppy driving by me on that one there, and I've taken far too much speed. Okay, terrible final section with the car. Almost ignored the time on that the first run. However, I learned a lot. The Escort is really very good, and I've got to be careful not to turn in too early. For our second run with the Escort, I think things are looking pretty promising for this car, in all honesty. I reckon that this can definitely go very quickly if I don't make any silly mistakes with it. It's always, yeah, it just bogs down a little bit off the line, which is not quite what I was expecting from the car, but there we go. Yeah, if I can not make any silly mistakes, I reckon this can be a really very good car, because it does drive very well. I can get it ever so slightly sliding out of that corner, and that's probably because we're on some nice cold tyres. I mean, that is a lot of speed through that section. Right, on the brakes down here, get it through the gates. Now, don't turn in too soon through this section, because the car can actually carry a lot of speed around here. Right, out here, and then we boot it again. It's lovely not having to worry at all about any sort of oversteer in this car. It's just boot it and go, and the car will sort everything out. I mean, we're easy flat out through here. Absolutely no questions about it, and we're up to 114, 115 miles an hour down that section, so that's up there with the fastest of them. In all honesty, down there, even the very powerful Mustang and so on is not quicker through that part than the Escort. Right, now try and keep everything together through here. I think perhaps at these sections here we may struggle just a teensy bit more than the Alpha, but we can get the power down out the other side. We don't have the same issue if I hit the curb on the inside. Actually quite a nasty placement of gates, because you kind of end up getting forced towards the curb, and certainly in the small light cars the curb will mess them up. In this though, it'll put it on two wheels slightly, but it's not as uncomfortable as it was with the Alpha. It's really nice through there. Really nice to be able to get the car sorted so easily. And we just let the understeer drag it a little wide. I may have let it drag it a tad too wide through there. Not quite got the final corner, or that final hairpin there, sorry, sorted. And then we're carrying too much speed. I pushed my luck. Really pushed my luck down down that section. Yeah, that was asking for trouble, taking all of that speed. We're on for an okay time. It's not quite as fast as I was perhaps expecting. Then again, we are going to cross, tell a lie, we are going to cross pretty well. 2:08.7 for the Escort. So a fraction behind the NSX on its second attempt. Can I find any more time in the Ford? On to the final attempt for the Escort Cosworth. Half a second is the time we are looking to find if we're going to challenge the NSX, and I reckon we can find that, maybe even a little bit more as well, although it's definitely not going to be found in the launch. This car did not get off the line particularly well. I was expecting more impressive a start, in all honesty, from a four-wheel drive A-Class car, but yeah, it just bogs down and doesn't really get going particularly well. But how brave can we be through here? Very. It makes up for it in the grip through that next section. Right, get it slowed down through here, try and get a neat line out of there, and then we can be flat out almost all the way down here until we then jump on the brakes for this bit and boot it again. The Escort is one of these cars, much like the NSX, it kind of just fills you with confidence. The amount of grip that is available in this means you can really push the car through these gates, carry a lot of speed through here, for example, and then we get on the brakes and try and get it stopped for all of this. The brakes are good, don't get me wrong in here, the brakes are good. It's not quite Alpha 4C and BAC mono standards, there's not a surprise, considering the weight. You've just got to kind of make up the time in the areas that the Escort is strong, and that's on these launches off the corners. This is a bit that got to make sure you get right with the car. There is a tiny little bit of understeer that can catch you out if you are a little bit unawares. It's only in the really tight gates do you notice it, but yeah, just got to be a little bit wary of that understeer. Like through here, you can see there's just a little bit, just enough to catch you out if you are unsuspecting. But yeah, it's certainly not too bad on the understeer front at all. We've got it neatly fired out of the hairpin. How much speed dare I carry up here? We've got to get ready to get on the brakes out of here. And again, use that four-wheel drive traction to fire the car out of the corner. You can get away with quite a lot. With it being four-wheel drive, if you run in just a fraction too deep, you can just, get away with it a little bit more. This is where it doesn't like it. Not nice through that slalom. Are we going to go quickly? We are going quickly. It's not quite quick enough to beat the 4C, but that puts the Escort into second place, a 2:07.5 from the Ford. That was a very quick final run from this car. Yeah, the Escort did very well. It did very well. Honestly, that could probably go as quick as the Alpha if it had a bit better launch. It really struggles off the line, bogs down horribly getting started. Everywhere else, though, the four-wheel drive is very, very useful. Having almost the safety, the comfort of, get out of the gate, fire it into the next one. You don't have to worry about any wheel spin whatsoever from this car. It's just not going to happen. There is a teensy-weensy little bit of understeer through some of the tighter gates. It's not quite as nice, doesn't change direction quite as nice as the Alpha or the BAC for that matter. That might not even be the four-wheel drive fault. It's just the car is that bit heavier than those two. But still, it's quick enough to go into second place, 0.6 of a second down on the Alpha 4C, a couple of tenths of a second faster than the BAC mono. That's an impressive car, certainly, the Escort. That is a very good time. A 2:07.5 is bloody fast through this course. So, yeah, there we go. 2 weeks and 2 cars, or 2 episodes, I should say, and 2 cars have gone faster than the BAC mono. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.